In this video, I'm going to share exactly how you could double your company's revenue by finding your ideal clients, your dream clients, within the next 12 months. Now, this is the exact process I've helped my clients with huge success, like Amberly Allen. 2 years of over 400% year-over-year growth, and her company is going to be processing $3 billion this year. Good job, girl. One of my famous clients that you most likely know consistently credits what I taught him back when I was partnered with a friend, business partner, Chet Holmes, the author of this New York Times bestselling book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. Chapter 6 is dedicated to this strategy. He referred to it as the Dream 100. So if you're struggling to target and land your dream clients, well, let's dive into 3 distinctions to appropriately help you execute to double your company's revenue, well, in the next 12 months or so. Now, I'll even throw in, how about the 2 top reasons I see entrepreneurs fail in this fast growth strategy? Because this is the quintessential work smart, not hard strategy of them all. And I'm sure if you look at your revenue, or at least your profits, you're going to find the Pareto's principle playing out for you. You know what that means, the 80-20 rule. 20% of your clients are bringing in 80% of your profitability. So why don't you have an intentionally well thought out 1-year marketing calendar to target your dream clients, your ideal clients? Honestly, 22 years of helping business owners with this, I'd say those who crush it, they were not smarter. By the way, I'm not calling Russell Brunson stupid here. Didn't have a better game plan or didn't have more intelligence, but rather what I'm trying to get to is they just had gumption to ask. Seriously, why would you work so hard to bring on like a total pain in the ass client? Whereas you could be working with someone that's easy to work, that's more likely to refer you to other better clients. They pay well. They refer to others that are better and pay well. I mean, the answer to that is probably a personal growth issue. And I trust you're going to go seek out my previous partner, Tony Robbins, to resolve that. But what I'm going to cover for you here today, it's my commitment. It's to lay out 3 elements to make you more money quicker, faster, and easier. Maybe faster than you ever even thought possible, and prevent you from failing in this effort. So if you don't know who I am, don't worry, I got you. I've helped more people implement this one fast growth strategy than anyone else alive today. In fact, I've helped spin off a bunch of pimple-faced wannabe gurus who sell what I taught them, and they charge you for that stuff, and I'm going to give it to you for free because we don't get paid for information. These kids that are pimping out courses, that's what they do to get money. Rather, we make our wealth actually helping business owners better implement these proven business growth strategies and tactics. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to share fun details as we go along. And oh, by the way, my name is Ted Miller III. And if you look at my first testimonial that was posted on YouTube way back in 2011, that was Ron DeHaas, the founder of Covenant Eyes. And he shared how he was stuck at $5 million in that video, and he reached out for my help. And their services is helping people surf the internet with integrity, like helping kids surf their smartphone, and avoid porn, or getting someone over their addiction to porn. So you can see how this could be difficult to help them with their marketing message and come with some kind of pitch. It's not like I'm going to be able to just give them something like, "Hi, do you or your friends suffer from inappropriate content online? If so, if that's their addiction you have, call us at." Like, no, that's not going to fly, man. So we were talking about this strategy, and Ron, he shared about how there's this one priest. He speaks on this topic all the time, and he was nicknamed the porn priest because his commitment was to make a massive impact on something that, well, did you know 60% of couples cite porn use upon as one of the major reasons why they're getting divorced? So I can't even speak about the ugly traffic nature that this addiction turns into. Otherwise, this whole video is going to be throttled by YouTube, but you can imagine where that goes. So there you have it, a single center of influence, this porn priest, that's in a unique position to speak on this topic that is typically a taboo topic. So we started out with a dream 1, not a dream 100. He had one ideal client. And I'll tell you right now, no matter how famous they are, or how wealthy they are, or how difficult this person is to reach, there is no one you can't reach if you're committed to getting them. And sure enough, this priest went on to start referencing Covenant Eyes. Their family plan service was like $13 a month. So as he spoke to thousands of churches across the nation, thousands of people and congregations of these mega churches, that changed a lot for Covenant Eyes. I mean, they went from growing from 12% to 30% rate of year-over-year growth in just 12 months. They were on Inc. 5000 list 5 years in a row. Ron got offered $15 million to sell his company when he told me he would have been happy at $10 million. But you know what? He turned that down. He called me right away after he turned down the $15 million and he said, hey, Ted, let's go change the world. And he hired me again, and we went on to help him grow it to $30 million before he ended up selling it to his employees. So right now, write down a single name that you know if they promoted your product or service, it could radically change your business forever. Now, answer to yourself, how many times did you reach out to that person this last year? How many times did you DM them on their birthdays or their kids' birthdays or their wife's birthdays? How about leveraging a gifting strategy, paid to participate in one of their events? Remember, this single contact can absolutely change your life. So why would you hesitate to invest in that type of a relationship? So secret number one for you is to reach out to your first ideal client, your first major center of influence. And the other 99 will follow, will be that much easier, but you gotta start with one. Start with one. Write it down right now. Shifting gears into number two, it's more tactical in its nature. And you may have read about my previous business partner's book. You may have read about him doing his Dream 100 strategy with billionaire Charlie Munger. And when I trained our other clients on this, the client I'm going to speak about today is Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. And when I shared this strategy with him, he took it to heart and he really implemented it like a freaking champ. See, he didn't just take my guidance as a suggestion, maybe I'll try it. No, he took action and launched his company in a new direction. It resulted in $100 million in just 4 years, called ClickFunnels. So he gives a ton of praise to committing to the Dream 100 as the greatest contributing factor to his fast success. By the way, his Dream 100 list was made up of not end clients, but rather those who already had affinity with large groups of people. You know, people that have databases of potential clients. And for him, he thought of authors. Authors fit that mold. They got to sell books and they usually have good databases. So what he would do is he went to his social medias and he unfollowed everyone he was following and only followed his Dream 100. That way he can start connecting names to faces if he ever had a chance to pitch them. And that way he'd go in and he'd opt into their newsletter or whatever it is they had. But he didn't stop there. You see, he surrounded the dragon. When I speak of surrounding the dragon, by the way, this is my take on surround the dragon in a marketing sense. You check out, like, do they have a new book coming out? Okay, that's one little aspect. But do they have a podcast that maybe Russell needs to be on? Or what social media site do they need to use? Like, Russell has a huge following, but he's not active there. But if you're on his private Facebook page, I'll tell you, that's where Russell posts. He posts about his family, his love of his books. Like, he really loves Think and Grow Rich, like big time. Like, I think that guy spent more money on editions of this book than any man I know alive. So he's got a huge following now, but you know, my point is now he's got a huge following, he could be consisted of one of these Dream 100 clients. You got to find a place to where they're sharing their private information where you can actually engage. And so that's what he was doing for his authors he was targeting. And I'll tell you, Russell wasn't the most gregarious person in the world, but when he'd go to these events, he would now have like a name to a face and information on these people because he made a Dream 100 list. He didn't approach them and say, hey, I got this thing and this software and don't you want to promote it to your list? It'll be a great JV. You'll make money. No, rather he showed that he freaking cared because he was doing his freaking homework. I don't think I'm giving anything proprietary away here because, I mean, he talks about this. I mean, in fact, I don't think I've heard him speak for more than 60 seconds without mentioning Dream 100. So I think I'm safe to share this type of stuff. So when I shared, when Chet had our then business partner, Tony Robbins, we pioneered business mastery with him. So we had him attend this networking event for authors and Russell saw him there but he didn't really get a chance to connect with him, right? You know, but Tony was on his Dream 100. So he had a file on Tony. And therefore, when he was going to an event where he knew Tony would be at, he'd revisited all of his information, his notes on Tony. And he found that the most relevant thing that he could honestly connect to. And it's where Tony shared that he had recently had a baby girl. And Russell, I don't know if you know this about him, he's a big family man. So he knows that when he gets his shot, he's not going to blow it by trying to pitch his new software because that's just like we taught him. We taught him the first bomb. It's the number one thing you need to teach your sales team if they're going to be implementing this strategy is to stop freaking selling, start adding value first, or at least show that you care. So when Russell did indeed meet Tony Robbins, he said, hey, Tony, first of all, man, congratulations. That's so cool that you and Sage actually are able to have a kid. I'm so excited for you guys. And it's the coolest thing in the world. He meant it genuinely. And Tony, trust me, he can read people. He read him like a book and he knew that was a genuine compliment. Bam, that guy suddenly had a man in his proximity he can connect with. That's strategy number two. This is not a tactical game. This is the the long game. This is not short-term tactics of what it's going to take to make money today. No, meaning, let's just talk statistics here. 49% give up after they hear their first no, whereas 96% of salespeople will never make it past their fourth no. Yet I've got data to share with you. 8 out of 12 high touch engagements is how many engagements you need on average to get a yes. Now, Google says low touch, like a little flip it text or a DM or an email. You need 24 to 36 of those. So you're going to want to map out your next 5 emails, your 5 voicemails, your 5 direct mail pieces, your 5 trinkets you're going to send in those direct mail pieces, the 5 quality gifts you're going to send if you're reading John Ruhlin's, giftology. So this is not like, let's go make a sale type of approach. This is like, let's go get ridiculously wealthy strategy. Okay, so check number 2. All right, let's shift the gear into number 3. Okay, number 3, it's a client that I had here locally. They had a software management tool. Let me explain. I'm sure you've decided to become a coach for one of your kids' teams. It doesn't matter what kind of sport it was. I arbitrarily picked soccer, even though I didn't know anything about soccer. My biggest fear was I don't know shit about soccer, so I'm going to be a horrible coach. And I come to find out that was wrong. The biggest problem you have is not the kids. The biggest problem you have when trying to be a coach is the parents. They're freaking weird. There's some of them are psycho, man. I mean, they're all stressed out and you can tell a mile away. Some of them want to fight in the sidelines. It's crazy. So if you at the last minute here in Portland, Oregon have a field rained out, Nike World headquarters really loves contributing to its local community. But if your kids are going to destroy their field, they're going to be like, thanks, but no thanks. Go somewhere else, buddy. Well, I've got to suddenly communicate with 40 moms right now. Oh, by the way, change your trajectory. You got to head here instead of there. Well, they had a software to manage that kind of stuff. So when they hired us and I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, how do you go to market? What do you do? They're like, oh, grassroots, I go out to local clubs. I was like, okay, local clubs. What do you mean? Well, you're on a team. Okay, great. And your team, well, they're made up of clubs and each club has 100 teams on it. Okay. I said, well, how do you make money? Well, per registrant, meaning what? Per player? Yes, per player. Okay, great. So bigger clubs mean more teams mean more players. And they're like, yes. I go, well, what's above that? Oh, there's nothing above that. Oh, no. I mean, if there's a bunch of clubs, then who's managing the clubs? Oh, that's the local state association. They have 40 clubs, but you can't target them. Can't target them. Why not? That's that. You don't understand. It's a state association. We just can't do that. I go, why not? Well, we've never done that. Just because you've never done it doesn't mean you shouldn't. Well, you don't understand. It's state association. It's going to be more difficult to get a hold of them. It's going to be harder to sell them. And they went on all these reasons. Bottom line, you know exactly what happened. I had them go target them. Sure enough, who was easier to deal with? Someone like me on a soccer field that doesn't know how to train their kids in soccer. He's freaking out about the mommy and daddy's trying to give too many instructions from the sideline. And this person is trying to pitch me on a software that I have no idea who to even call to implement. Or the state association who has people who are paid, who have standard operating procedures, how to make decisions. That's right. There was as much effort into making a single sale that was worth 40 any other sales calls, a 40x rate of return, because they did step 3, which is step up your game. Raise your freaking standards. You're putting up with too low of a target when you're reaching towards clients. Dream clients are exactly that, dream. They need and can afford a lot of who have to sell, and most are aiming too low. Why? Because that's what your past clients look like. But what if you just went after a better set of clients? That will change your life. This is the third step, distinction to effectively implement the Dream 100 strategy. Now, I know I did promise to share with you how you would fail and how I'm done you preventing disaster right now. Here they are, quick and easy. You don't think through the strategy, rather you just wing it. You're on your ADHD glory and you fall short. And the other reason you're gonna fail is simply you stop 2 feet from gold. You didn't have the discipline to see it through with world-class follow-up and follow through. I question if I'm following through enough. I think, how was I able to marry up? Seriously, folks, on that line, I married up big time. My wife is not simply just gorgeous. She's the best executive we've ever had working with our company. We recruited her out of a $9 billion hardware and software company, and she's facilitated this space for unconditional love for this world to live within. I mean, she's just that wonderful human being. Now, if I'm looking at my follow through and I compare it to what I did to make that marriage happen, then I decide, am I following through enough? If it doesn't compare to that, I'm telling you, you're probably falling short. And you're probably thinking that's a lot of commitment. Listen, did we not say that this is the fastest growth strategy of them all? Life-changing wealth creation opportunities here. It is crazy, right? And if you want to learn more, I have a free training called the Ideal Client Blueprint. The link is in the description. And in this training, you're going to learn how to find and attract and keep your most ideal clients, implement a 6-step strategy to double your sales, stop wasting your time on low-value clients, utilize the Ideal Client Toolkit, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more content related to sales and scaling businesses, and I'll see you on the inside.